Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today I have a really fun video that I'm going to do for you guys. And today I am reviewing the tour for the Queen of Pop Madonna's new album, the Madame X tour. So, gosh, where do I even begin with this? So as you can see pictured here, I have the standard edition of Madame X and the deluxe, 2-disc deluxe edition of Madame X. So where do we begin? So I think it's important to start with my Madonna loving. So, you know, as I think some people know, I came into like my terms of liking music very late in my age. So I'm currently 23 now, and I think I started listening to Madonna when I was 18 a few years ago, because it was right when Rebel Heart came out. And I remember at the time, I knew of Madonna's stature, I just didn't feel Madonna in my heart. She released a song called Bitch, I'm Madonna. And I think what I envisioned for that song was a lot different than what ended up happening. But I loved the name of that title because she is Madonna. Bitch, she's Madonna. You know, she's the Queen of Pop. She can do whatever she wants. And I don't think that song lived up to what I think it could have been, but I do love that song. But in my head, that was where it was. And so I kind of was introduced during the whole Rebel Heart era. So a very interesting era to come into. But God, I loved Rebel Heart so much. I could talk forever about that album. And so I was so excited when, for the first time in my technical liking of Madonna's career, her new album was coming out, and it was going to be released as Madame X. And I have to say, the promotion for this album was so cool. Everything behind it, I was like, this sounds cool, this sounds great. When the first single, Medellin, came out, I was like, this is different, don't love it. I didn't love it at first, but I ended up loving it. I was like, this is a bop, I love it. I loved Maluma's feature on that song. I thought it was really cool. And then the album came out after a couple singles that I didn't really listen to all the singles as they came out, because I was just really busy as they were all coming out. And so the album came out, and it took me forever to listen to the album all the way through, because I just didn't like it. And I think it starts off really strong with Medellin, and then Dark Ballet hit, and that was where I was like I was like, what is happening? So it took me a while to fully listen to the album, and I couldn't find an appreciation for it. I really did like Medellin. I liked God Control. I liked Crave. I liked Come Alive. I liked a lot of the ones that a lot of people didn't end up liking, but it was Dark Ballet. It was killing me. It was trying to get through Dark Ballet. And, but you know, I kind of found a likeness for the album. Like, there were some things I liked, some things I didn't. I didn't really care for any of the bonus tracks that were on there for the 2-disc edition. I think the standard, or the Target version, or the deluxe with the 2 bonus tracks is how the album should be. So I wasn't too particularly excited to go to them, see her for this album, because when Madonna does a tour, the tour is of that album, and it's very rare that you're gonna get, you know, the old hits, or even I knew I was gonna get no Rebel Heart songs, that's for sure. So I was like, I don't know if I want to go to this, and so I made the decision to go, and it wasn't really because of her, it was just because of the album. I didn't love it at first, but okay, so here's where things shifted. So I bought a ticket, and I bought a cheaper one up in the balcony, and then about a week before the show, I ended up seeing the show on November 27th in Chicago, at the Chicago Theater. And I loved the whole theater tour thing. I thought that was really cool. I knew that was going to be a cool experience especially to see Madonna for my first time. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to upgrade it to the main floor. That's where the party's at anyway. So I upgraded my ticket to the main floor, and it really wasn't that much more. I think maybe I spent in total $150 altogether after even upgrading to do that. And so about a week before the concert hit, I listened to Madame X fully again, and I was like, I really am digging this. So I listened to it again, and for some reason it just awoke in me my love for Madame X. So now I really do like Madame X. I still like Rebel Heart more, and honestly I still kind of like MDNA more than Madame X, which I know is an unpopular opinion, but that's just me. I now really like Madame X, and I am happy with where I'm at in my life with it. And Dark Ballet is no longer my least favorite song. My least favorite song now is Killers Who Are Partying, because I just don't think it works well after you heard it the first time. I think it's got a great message, just it does not have much repeat value for me. But anyways, so let's get on to this tour, the Madame X tour. Wow. So first of all, as many people know, it was a no phone allowed experience. So you had to lock your phone in this, I forgot what the company's name was, but like this almost baggy, I would say. It's like a cloth bag, and it's locked. And the way it's locked is like with a, I would say like what they use at department stores to like keep you from stealing. That was what it looked like. And so I was in the back of the main floor, and I honestly regret upgrading my ticket, and here's why. The last two shows in Chicago, which were the 27th and the 28th, were not selling well, and that's mostly because they were added dates, and they weren't selling well. I think that's it. And so I guess the Chicago Theater was basically upgrading everyone who was in the balcony to the main floor, and I was like, damn it, I should have not upgraded. I probably could have upgraded for free, but you know, it's fine. I made it to the main floor and it's cool. So here is what they give you so first I went outside and they looked at my ticket and they wrote down where I was at because I couldn't show them my phone. And I really feel like this could have been solved with just, printing real tickets. I think that would have made more sense. And so I got there, I think my train got there at about 9:00 p.m. and I got there because it said online at Ticketmaster that, no later than 9:30 you should be there, and the show will start at 10:30 because it's going to take forever for everyone to get in. That was a complete lie. I got in less than a minute, and I kind of knew that was how it was going to be too. And the show started at 10:30, but I knew for a fact it was going to start supposed to start at 10:30. I knew it was nowhere near going to start till anywhere after 11. However, I didn't think that the night I went would be the latest night she would wait to go on, which was 11:20 is when I heard the show started. So, yeah, it was a bit of a long wait, but honestly, because my phone was locked up for most of it, and my seat was actually right next to the unlocking station, but at 10:30, I put my phone in the bag, and I just sat in the, the main floor for the next hour, or 30, 40, 50 minutes, but it didn't feel long because I wasn't like constantly looking at my phone like, oh my god, what time is it, like whatever. So okay, so then the show starts, and where do I begin with this tour? I don't even know where to begin, because this tour it sucks that there's no video of it yet because it's so hard to describe, but wow. What a well-done tour. Because I come from a background in theater, I think that the theater setting was just really cool. And what an interesting way to see Madonna for the first time. So the show opens with God Control, which is probably my favorite song off of Madam X because it's the most dancey song. And it starts off with this really cool beginning inspiration quote about like art and what art is here to do. And I honestly think that it was a little too long, the intro. I think they could, because they repeated the same saying. It was different each time, but they kept repeating it. I think it was like 3 or 4 times. And I think if they had just cut one out of there, I think it would have been a little smoother of an experience, if you know what I'm saying. But so it opens with God Control. And when it opened, I was really confused because she was dressed as a pirate. Well, it turns out I found out through this podcast called the Immaculate Podcast. Shout out to you guys. Thank you for your insight in helping me understand Madonna even more than I already did. Apparently it's like a Revolutionary War costume, and she's supposed to be someone from the Revolutionary War. I forgot what the exact thing was, but it was, the statement about guns and, all that. And knowing that makes more sense. I was just really confused as to why she was dressed as a pirate for the first part. And I loved it. It was epic. There was I loved her change of like the sayings, like just how it sounded live versus here's what was also weird, okay, is that throughout the show she was using, I believe she was singing live for most of it. I really do. But her voice was being processed through an auto-tuner, and it just never sounded good. Like, it always sounded bad the way the auto-tune would kick in. And so God Control, it opens, if you've listened to the track, and she's basically singing through her teeth, and she's like, everybody knows the damn truth. And instead, I think she might have been doing that, I'm not sure, but it was just covered in auto-tune, and I was like, whoa, sissy, you didn't need to do that. Your voice is fine, you didn't need the auto-tune. So that kind of made me upset that she was using so much of that, because I think vocally, I will stand for Madonna's vocals any day of the week, anytime, because she's not as bad of a vocalist as people say she is. She's actually a very skilled isn't maybe the right term, but she's proven her vocal talents before, so I didn't feel the need to say she can't sing. So after God Control, epic opening, we have Dark Ballet, I don't really remember too much of it because, again, not my favorite song. But it was, nice, cool. The dance, I think there was, fine. Then Human Nature, which is where the audience was, like, feeling it because they thought she was about to sing Express Yourself. But it really just uses that term in the beginning where she's like, express yourself, don't repress yourself. Love that. And then she actually did do the snippet of Express Yourself, and it was so cute. I loved it. Her kids came on stage, and it was fun. It was a cappella, but, who cares? And then there was like an intro, then there was like her talking, and the night before when I saw it, I guess Donald Trump was supposed to be coming into Chicago the next day, and she was just saying, I wonder if I invited him to the show, would he come? And she was really funny. Lots of dirty, dirty jokes, but they were fun. Then she did Vogue, a full performance of Vogue, I would like to add. It was the full song. Most of the older hits were not performed in full, so Vogue was full. That was a party. I loved that. Then she did I Don't Search, I Find, which, again, not my favorite song on the album, but I don't even remember really what was happening. I think there was like twirling and stuff. Cool. It was nice. Then Papa Don't Preach, which she changed, and I really did appreciate this change, was she said, I'm not keeping my baby. And then she went into a whole speech about women's rights and all that, and I loved it. I was like, I love that. I honestly kind of like those lyrics a little more than the original lyrics, because that's just more me. But and then she did American Life, which was which was so fun, because like even though that's an older song and not necessarily a hit, it's like a hit in my eyes because it's from the olden days. I was feeling it when she was like, I'm drinking a latte, I get a double shot, it goes through my body, and I'm satisfied. And no one around me knew it, but I was feeling it. I was like, yes, American Life. And then there was this coffin interlude. I'm reading the set list too as I'm doing this, which was interesting. And then she did Batuka, which was fun, inspirational, but it didn't like stick with me. I think it means more to her than it meant to me. And then she did the one Fado, which is a cover, I'm not even going to pronounce it, but with whoever the original singer's was son. That was cute. She sounded really nice. And then there was Killers Who Are Partying, and that is when I honestly went to go use the bathroom, because I heard, I will be gay, and I was like, I do really have to pee, and I would rather enjoy more than this. So that's where I went to pee, I'm not going to lie, because I just don't really care for that song. But, I didn't think I missed too much. If I had known if there was going to be another interlude, I probably would have left them, but I didn't know, so I was like, I'm going now. Nah. So I didn't really see that one. But then I was back. I left because the bathroom wasn't far from where I was. Went back, and it was still going on. So that was good. I didn't miss too much. Then she did Crazy. I like Crazy. I think it's a fun little bop. And then in between Crazy, she did like another cover, which was Welcome to My Fado Club, and then La Isla Bonita. How can you not love that? It didn't really hit me, though, because it was really quick. It was like the quickest of them all, like to be sang. And then she did this song called Sodad. And I think this isn't where the point I was realizing that I was a little more tired than I thought I was. Because that song, I thought this song was called Slow Down. So I think her enunciation wasn't as clear as it could have been. But it was like, well, I guess it's technically how it's pronounced. Sodad, Sodad, Sodad. And I was like, oh my God, I didn't care for the whole Portuguese aspect of that. I think it means a lot to her. It didn't hit me as much because, I'm kind of more, I guess I wasn't as oblivious to that side of the world, but, yeah, I wasn't feeling that as much. But then, oh my God, then we brought it up. We had Medellin, and me and the two gay guys next to me were living because... I loved Medellin. I thought it was such a fun bop. It could have been such a fun summer song. Loved it. It was, I really like that song. I think, if anything, actually, that might technically be my favorite song off Madam X. And then we have Extreme Occident, which I really don't remember anything about. Don't really care for that song either, so it was kind of like, Then there was the most epic moment of the night, where she did Frozen. Wow. I wasn't even that crazy about that song before I saw this, but did that ever change my mind, was hearing Frozen live, and that video imagery she used. Like, that was what I think really came across on this tour, was the imagery and the set. It looked gorgeous, and it was perfect. Everything that needed to happen, happened. And Frozen was just mind-blowing. It was so well done. I applaud whoever ever decided how they were going to do it. It was gorgeous. And then after Frozen was Come Alive, and as I've heard, and I think I heard this on the Immaculate Podcast too, Come Alive really came alive up on stage. It's just, I think it's the most uplifting song on Madam X, so I think that was really cute. It was very bright on that time too. And then Future, which is another one that I'm kind of more iffy on. I enjoyed it, but I didn't love it, you know. Then, okay, here's where I'm gonna advocate for Crave, which was the next song. I love Crave, because I don't really care for trap music, but I think it was the first time I ever heard like a trap ballad. I guess that was how I would describe Crave, and I love it how it is. However, for this, they remixed it into a like dance Europop of a song, and I didn't like the remix. And I know a lot of people like this remix. I didn't care for it. I think it works so effectively how it was written and how it was originally set out. So yeah, there's that for me. And then there was Like a Prayer, which was, wow. Again, you know, incredible. The only thing I will say that was bad about Like a Prayer, and this isn't even bad, is instead of like an orchestral sounding song, like how it normally is, it was more of a trap beat, or maybe not even a trap beat, but it was more beat-based behind it, and I didn't care for that. But I was kind of too much in gay heaven watching Madonna sing Like a Prayer to really care, so it is what it is. And then we have the finale, which was I Rise, which I really thought rose to the occasion. It was great. She came out through the audience. I was nowhere near where she was coming out at, so I wasn't really concerned with trying to get close to her. And then, you know, it ended. It ended promptly at 2 a.m. So I got out of there, and, well, I bought this program before, because I usually buy the programs. And I got out of there, I got home by 3 o'clock, and I went to bed. So I think what I'll say about this tour is that this tour, and I know that this has all been done and said before, but I really feel like people need to know this. If you're gonna see Madonna, you need to be a diehard fan, because, or at least listen to the album that she had just released, because when Madonna does a tour, it is about this album. It is not about her catalog. It is about that album and what she wants to say right now. And a lot of people around me were pissed that it was not the old stuff and all this new stuff that they didn't know. And I'm like, we live in the 21st century. You can easily look up the set list. You can look up what is happening at this tour. It's not hard to do that. So I was really annoyed with how I was in such a weird section because the energy around me was so different. Some people were pissed that she was late, which honestly, look it up. You could have looked at what time she always starts. All of that stuff. So I don't agree with her coming on late. I think it's kind of rude, but at the same time, it's Madonna and she can do what she wants. And I kind of had already knew what time she was going to end up going on. So in my head, she was going to go on at that time. And I have to say, I think she was in good form. Like I heard like sometimes she phones it in and, you know, stuff like that. She was great. She was clearly happy to be there. She was having a wonderful time. And I really do appreciate her no phone policy, even though I wouldn't suggest it at everything I go to. It was a really cool, intimate experience, and I think that it did everything it set out to do. And I would like to see it again. I would like to be closer if I saw it again, because I'd like to be more part of the party for it, because I was kind of in the back and it wasn't as much of a party around me. But it was definitely a fun show. But like I said, it wasn't for people who hadn't heard the new album. It was all about this new album, and that's how it is for Madonna, and people should know that. So if I was to rate it out of 10, it would have easily gotten a 9 out of 10. Easily. And I would like to say she looked incredible. The second outfit she wears with the short black hair and the black ensemble, I think she looked incredible in that. Like, that look really suited her. It really did. And I would love to see, like I said, I would love to see it again. But, yeah, so Madam X, the tour, I think this was probably one of my most surprising experiences, especially with this album going from not really caring for it to really liking it. So if you can go see it, definitely I would recommend it. If you're a diehard Madonna fan, there's no reason why you shouldn't see this. It's the most intimate you're ever going to get with seeing her in concert, because you're never going to get this again. And, you know, I really do think that hopefully if the set list does go through some minor altercations throughout the tour, I heard that apparently, because Rescue Me was rehearsed, but it wasn't performed, I've heard You Must Love Me, and I'm such an Evita stan for her performance in Evita. I would have cried if she had sang You Must Love Me. But apparently there were a couple of other songs that were rehearsed that, never made the final cut. And, that couldn't be happening in this tour, so hopefully you get to experience one of those if that happens one night. But yeah, definitely go see Madame X on tour. It's going to be definitely worth your time. And, what can I say? Express yourself. Don't repress yourself. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to hopefully get some more videos out for you soon. I would like to, again, give a shout out to the Immaculate Podcast, which you can watch on anywhere. I'm sure podcasts are available. Some really cool, these guys, I don't know how many guys are on it for sure, but they helped me understand a lot more about this era, the Madame X era, and so many things that I think really helped inform me on my review and after the concert, seeing the concert, all this stuff. So shout out to you guys. Thank you for doing what you do. Those podcasts are really cool. Yeah, so go see Madame X on tour. It'll be a lot of fun. And, everybody knows the damn truth, and the damn truth is Madonna was great. So thanks, guys.